Happy 4th of July, everybody. So this is a quick update on the Square Foot Truck Bed Garden. It is actually July 5th. We had a lot of fun with fireworks last night. Yeah, anyhow, so back into the swing of the garden here. Everything's doing really well. As I've said before, we're stagger planting quite a few things. I've kind of reworked my dates, what I'm planting when, just because I'm seeing the way it grows and how I'd like to have it. So actually a few of those things are changed up, but I can let you guys know when I post my calendar of what I planted, and that's for zone 5A if you're curious. But yeah, so everything's doing well with the exception of me fudging some dates back and forth a little bit. And yeah, so let's jump in. The onions are just now starting to brown. Their tops are starting to bend over, so it won't be long. I am noticing that because of the way the truck is parked up to the curb, the street is lower on this end and higher on this end. So the soil is actually running off, and you can see, oh sorry, car just passed, so you guys can hear me. You can see some of the tops of the onions are starting to really get uncovered here, but that's okay. Anyhow, so let's walk over here and give it a look. The kale is doing great. I've been harvesting several leaves a day and putting those in my smoothies. Everybody's asking what the actual name is of the kale, and it is the Dwarf Blue Curled Scotch Kale by Seed Savers Exchange. You can order that online. And I planted those, been harvesting, even harvested a couple little leaves off these. But I mean, at that size, I wouldn't really harvest much, guys. Anyhow, so I planted these guys in today. They are the last set, and then these guys have probably another week or two of me harvesting from them, and then I'll pull those up. And haven't decided if I'm going to replant more kale in there or not, but next year definitely adding more boxes of kale. Love the kale. Anyhow, this is the spinach row. Everybody's been asking, why am I letting this go to seed? Guys, this is just purely for an experiment purpose. Spinach, once it goes to seed, once it bolts up like this, it tastes bitter. The leaves taste bitter. I'm just trying to figure out, one, if there's any way to circumvent the taste of bitterness in the leaves, if there's anything I can do, if I can change. We have plenty of spinach from some neighboring friends, and I can always pick it up at the store. I don't really like that, but I can pick it up at the store. Spinach is not that cost prohibitive for me to purchase. Anyhow, so I'm letting the back one go to seed so that I can see how taller plants do in the truck when we're driving around. I want to see without having a costly plant. So as it gets taller and it's middle of the way through the box, I'll be able to tell how it's actually reacting to how much wind, how fast we're going. So there's a height experiment going on there, and then there's also just the bitterness. I want to see if there's any way to save plants, and I need that control. So if anybody is science-minded, you'll know this middle row I'm letting grow. It's kind of starting to bolt, but every time it's starting to bolt and there's little flower heads forming or seeds, I just pluck them off and discard them. And technically these leaves should be turning bitter by what everybody's kind of saying, so I need it to compare to my lettuce here, my spinach here that I'm not letting bolt. I'm keeping this mulched, super watered, so it's staying nice and cool even though it's really hot. So this is my kind of your ideal quote-unquote tasting spinach. This is you're trying to save your bolting spinach, and it's gone. And I need to know that control. I need to know what it tastes like gone, and I need to know what it tastes like not gone to seed. So yeah, this is purely for experiment, guys. Don't be judging on my spinach. It's fun to play around with your garden, and I'm a scientist, so that's what I do. Experiment, right? Why wasn't genetics found that way? Come on, guys, you know, Mendelian genetics. Anyhow, okay, onward. Get off the nerd subject, right? Okay, so garlic is doing well. Only the back two garlics here aren't doing so hot, but I'm not really gonna worry about them too much. Again, that's another non-cost prohibitive item to buy at the grocery store should I need to. And obviously with this limited space in a garden that I have, I do still purchase stuff in the store. So but it was trying to figure out if it grows well, if it grows here for me, and if it grows well in the truck bed. So everything's a toss-up this year. So the parsley, I retract any statements about it not doing well in the truck previous to now. I think it's doing excellent. I have been harvesting parsley, both varieties, the curled and the flat, for several weeks now. Every other night I've been harvesting some. I love having the fresh stuff around. It's been great. Strawberries, I'm getting maybe 1 to 2 berries a day, and I've probably got it's been a lull. This last week there was a lot of rain, so it kind of like stopped everything up. But and kind of mushed a few of my berries that were sitting on the soil. But this week they are just coming on out. So there's probably a dozen on there. They're not ready yet. They're just starting to turn pink. So we'll see. My string here that marks my grid for my square foot garden is actually holding up several of the berries, so the weight of them. So I'm actually thinking next year we're going to do something a little stronger, a little more permanent, something that can actually take the weight of my strawberries. I don't know, maybe we'll see. Anyhow, so the strawberries are good, the parsley's good, garlic's good. Radishes, this is again more of an experiment. So my radishes, sorry, little flowers getting in the way. So my radishes I've planted 3, now 4 varieties as of today. And I like some, don't like some. I just planted the French breakfast, which are supposedly touted for a good container garden, for container radishes. So we'll see how those go. But I've had the white icicle, the sparkling tip, and the cherry bell. So far the cherry bells are the ones that have done excellent in here. I can't really promote the other two. They're kind of weak, straggling along, not really producing much. I'll show you what I pulled out there, but the cherry bells have been just beautiful for me. So I'm all game for those in the future. The beans along the back row there, again, I told you in the last video, I hated how I'd stagger planted within one box. I'd set it off 2 weeks. Don't like that. Not going to do it ever again. They just get too tall and they shadow the next one, and then it just prohibits the whole growth box. So in that first box, I'm actually only getting like 4 bean plants, which I'm supposed to be getting 9, so don't like that. Not enough productivity. The next box over though, so probably right there, next box over right there, is all planted at the same time. They were Roma bush beans. They're all coming up at the same height. They're doing well. That very closest row to the tall ones are getting a little shaded, but I've been plucking the leaves off of those other ones and kind of letting the other ones get the sunshine and grow in. So they're doing good. I'm impressed with them so far. Keeping up at the same height means we won't get a staggered crop, but I think from now on I'll just stagger each box instead of rows in each box. Yeah, I think that would be the plan. Anyhow, so I've got beans just now starting, just barely starting on the bush beans in the back there. The next box is 4 weeks in. And then the last box is just planted today. It's my last round. So, well, we'll see how the beans go. And maybe we can see if we can find a pod here in a second. But basil is doing good. I'm not using the basil as much as I thought I would. So, yeah, maybe I don't need as much. But it's growing, it's tall. I'm using probably 4, maybe 5 leaves a week. Not much at all. So I'm going to try and do some like basil infused olive oil as a way to use them up. I'm not sure. Anyhow, so jalapeno pepper, it's doing good. I've got a couple of peppers going right here. They're still pretty light green. I got a little guy, a couple little guys up here. So yeah, I've got these. They're just barely starting to be light green. They're doing well. It looks like a lot of the flowers were pollinated, and so we should be getting more peppers. But yeah, it looks like I've got 5 jalapeno peppers, and they're doing well. So that's the update on them. It's doing fine as far as height in the wind with the truck and driving. It's not really, yeah, that cab really protects it. I'm not too worried about it. When I'm driving around, not too worried at all. Yeah, so I think that's everything. That's the update. Onions are getting ready to fall over here. Oops, sorry, another car, guys. Yeah, let me see if we can find a little bean. Oh yeah, there's some little ones starting right there. You can see, oh how cute. Gotta love baby fruit, right? Well, or veggies. Fruit and veggies. Okay, anyhow, so that is the garden update. Sorry, this one's about twice as long as the other ones, but I wanted to give you pretty in detailed depth. This is the middle of the summer, so, you know, July is, we're starting to heat up quite a bit here, so we'll see how they hang in there for the next, next month or so, and then it'll start cooling down, hopefully. So, yeah, there you go. That's the update, guys. If you guys have any other questions or any comments, please feel free to ask me. I don't mind answering them. I appreciate just being able to get to do this and keeping you guys informed. It was a neat project so far, so let's hang in there and see how the rest of it goes. Have a good day.